All right, guys. So our last module, we talked a lot about how humans act and why people choose and what the mechanics of a choice are, how they have to make trade-offs, how things have a cost. Every choice has a cost associated with it. Now we want to look at why people choose the things that they choose. And that really boils down to the idea of incentives. There's incentives that influence the choices that people make. And a lot of those incentives are external incentives, things that are outside of my person, of my being. But if I get those things, then it's going to motivate me to act in a certain way. For example, I come to work for a lot of different reasons, but one of the primary reasons that I come to work is because they pay me to be here. I collect money, and the money is an incentive to perform well on my job, in my job. For some of you guys, you might have other kinds of incentives. Maybe it's a sticker chart, okay? Sticker chart can be just as powerful of an incentive. And if you think that sticker charts are for kids, my mother-in-law uses sticker charts for herself, all right? Putting that sticker on there can be a powerful incentive. Maybe it's candy, maybe it's pizza for dinner, maybe it's going out with some friends, maybe it's more time playing video games. There are a lot of powerful incentives, and adding more of those things are going to make you want to choose the activities that are attached to those incentives. Okay? But there's also internal incentives, things like happiness, joy, satisfaction, a sense of doing good. A lot of times people think that, well, if it's internal, it's not an incentive, okay? And they're wrong, because that is your incentive. That's what motivated you to make a decision. For example, helping out around the house. Sometimes you do nice things for people just because you like to see other people happy. That's an incentive for you. Now, is it an incentive to do good for other people? Yeah, and that's a key economic concept that we're going to talk about later on, especially when we get to the factors of production. But this is the idea, is that people are going to do more things based on an increase in incentives to do those things. And they're going to do less things when the incentive isn't there. All right? Through this next module, you're going to read a whole bunch about incentives and about the way that incentives function, about how sometimes incentives get crisscrossed and manipulated. But hopefully by the end of this module, you'll have learned that when it comes to economic analysis, it's the incentives that are created that matter. That's what makes the difference. Incentives matter.